Right now at noon, a homicide investigation is underway in Dane County. We'll have live coverage from the scene. Plus, former Vice President Joe Biden is campaigning for Wisconsin Democrats today in Madison. And President Trump says he's planning on challenging the 14th Amendment. We'll tell you how.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is on the scene right now at a homicide investigation in Lodi on State Road 113. Our Amanda Quintana is live from the scene with what we know so far. Amanda?
Yes, well, the Sheriff's Office hasn't released much information at this point. We do know that they are still on scene here. This is still an active homicide investigation. What we know is a male is dead. The suspect or suspects did know the victim, so the Sheriff's Office doesn't believe the public is in any danger. Deputies responded around 4:30 this morning for reports of a battery, but once they arrived, the man was pronounced dead. The Lodi School District was told about this incident, but they say no students live at this home and classes are continuing as normal today. We do not yet know the name of the victim or any details about anyone else who lives here. We do know that this house was being rented, but no other details about anyone else who was here. The Sheriff's Office is planning on giving us an update later on. So once we do get that information, we will be sure to update everyone.
All right, Amanda Quintana reporting live for us outside Lodi. Thank you, Amanda. Let's head over to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast. Not a bad October day.
No, temperature's not too bad. The clouds have moved in once again after a very nice sunrise this morning, and we could be dealing with a few showers later this afternoon. Not right now, though. Doppler track still showing that rain well off to the north, but that's along a cold front that will come through later on this afternoon. Could spark some showers, especially southeast of Madison, which we're looking at right now on the WISC-TV Skycam at those cloudy skies. Currently at 51 degrees, a south wind at 8 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 50s no matter where you look across southern Wisconsin. 51 in Madison, up to 57 already in Janesville, 54 in Mineral Point. You can see where that front is, where all the wind is coming together, and that will continue to move to the south and east as we head into the afternoon hours. Highs should make it into the mid-50s under mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Then we'll be in the 40s by later on tonight. So a couple of rounds of rain possible for some of us, but then it looks like very nice conditions for Halloween. We'll talk about that, plus our next chance for some rain and snow mix in your first alert forecast.
Getting to be that time of the year.
Yep.
All right, Dave, we'll check back in a few minutes. The Badger State is getting visits from some big names, and today, Vice President Joe Biden joins that list. Our Rose Schmidt is live on the UW-Madison campus to give us his message for students and community members. Rose?
Well, Mark, former Vice President Joe Biden is echoing President Obama's sentiments from last week that the upcoming election could be one of the most important elections of our lifetime. Joe Biden is here on the UW-Madison campus campaigning for Democratic candidates in Wisconsin, including Tony Evers and U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. Biden called Baldwin a champion for health care, and Baldwin mentioned how her opponent, Republican Leah Vukmir, has said she would be the deciding vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Much of Biden's speech centered on how voters need to restore the character of the country by electing good people. But his most passionate remarks were about President Trump's administration and recent events, including the fatal shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue this week.
I am sick and tired of this administration. I'm sick and tired of what's going on. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I hope you are too. Three times this past week, the forces of hate have terrorized our fellow Americans for their political beliefs, the color of their skin, or their religion.
There could not be a sharper contrast in my race for Senate of who's doing the bidding of the big insurance companies and who's fighting for you.
Yeah, text me and I'll
All the Democratic leaders focused on a united message. With 1 week until the midterm elections, every vote matters and every vote could make a difference. Senator Baldwin even encouraged people to early vote, saying that there could be a snowstorm on the horizon, so people should get out to the polls before that could happen. And Vice President Joe Biden encouraged people to vote for Democratic candidates up and down the ticket. He ended his speech by saying it's time for Democrats to take back this country.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live from UW-Madison campus. Thank you. Meanwhile, Governor Scott Walker is reacting to Joe Biden's visit in Madison. Walker tweeted, "Not sure I'd believe much coming from Tony Evers today. He brought serial plagiarist Joe Biden into Wisconsin, so between the two of them, who knows where they're getting facts." Walker will be in Waukesha Thursday with Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch and Speaker Paul Ryan. A dairy herd in Wanakee has tested positive for bovine tuberculosis, which can be spread to humans through unpasteurized milk or close contact with infected animals. Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection says a meat inspector identified a carcass during a routine slaughter inspection at Meyer Farms LLC that tested positive for TB. The herd was immediately quarantined to prevent any animals from moving on or off of the farm. Officials say the pasteurized milk is still safe to consume. President Trump and the First Lady are visiting Pittsburgh today. They pay their respects to the victims of Saturday's synagogue shooting. The city of Pittsburgh began saying goodbye today to the lives lost in the Tree of Life synagogue shooting. Members of the Pittsburgh Steelers were among the mourners. President Trump and the First Lady will pay their respects to the 11 victims and visit the injured first responders. But some are concerned a presidential visit is too soon.
Last thing I want to see is while these families are burying those that they lost, that there are protests and streets being closed and other things that are taking away from the most important thing that we can do, which is honoring the dead.
Suspected gunman Robert Bowers was in a wheelchair during his brief court appearance yesterday. He faces numerous charges, including federal hate crimes, which could carry the death penalty. And President Trump is preparing to challenge a 150-year-old constitutional standard that anyone born in America becomes an American citizen. The president told the political news site Axios that he plans to sign an executive order to, quote, remove the right to citizenship for babies of non-citizens and unauthorized immigrants born on U.S. soil.
Now, how ridiculous. We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous.
I think it's a pretty legally dubious claim, but he says, no, I've got people that say I can. And by the way, he has stacked the courts with a lot of conservatives, and I think some of his confidence might come from that.
The Trump administration is also launching a major military operation on the U.S.-Mexico border to prevent a caravan of refugees from entering the United States. Well, there's more to come on News 3 at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've got an easy 3-ingredient favorite that is monstrously good, and it's just in time for Halloween. right around the corner. And if you're looking for something that you can bring to the office or take to a Halloween party that's not the same predictable thing that everyone else is bringing, I've got an idea. It's a 3-ingredient candy bar bark that is as much fun to make as it is to share. All we need to do is combine a good amount of semi-sweet chocolate chips along with a bit of vegetable shortening and pop it in the microwave for a minute or two until it's melty. We spread this on a rimmed baking sheet that we've lined with wax paper. It should be about a 1/4 inch thick. Now, while this is still warm, we sprinkle on our favorite Halloween candy that we've cut up. And that can be anything from the gooeyest candy bars to candy corn. We'll pop it in the fridge for about a half an hour or so before breaking it up into pieces. That is, if we can get into the fridge. And whether you pile them on a plate, arrange them in a gift tin, or put them out on a board so everyone can cut a piece for themselves, I can assure you it won't take long for this to disappear. To get this fun recipe, all you have to do is go to our website and look up Halloween Candy Bark. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a monstrously fun way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, a gloomy Tuesday afternoon across southern Wisconsin. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has your first alert forecast when we come back. Let's check Wall Street, a roller coaster Wall Street, up again today, up 180 points on the Dow, the NASDAQ up 56. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee on this Tuesday. How are you?
Well, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're kind of following up on that story that you had earlier, Mark, about the first detected bovine tuberculosis case in Wisconsin since 1980. We had eradicated that up until this latest incident that is in Dane County. I talked with Dr. Darlene Conkler, acting state veterinarian, and she said what's interesting, just so that our non-farm consumers understand, the specific TB strain that they found in that one animal traces back to a human sample from 2015, on the records in 2015. So basically what we're reminding all farms is remember your biosecurity, remember to try to know where your animals are coming from before they arrive on your farm, do advanced testing for things like bovine tuberculosis, and if you've got employees that are not well, keep them away from your animals, especially if they are in close proximity to those animals. Now they are going to go through evaluation of every animal down to 2 months of age on the Meyer Dairy up in Waunakee and decide what has to happen next. It is possible that that whole herd might have to be depopulated, but we certainly hope that's not the case. Hopefully it's just 1 or 2 animals. But Dr. Conkle will be keeping me up to date on what's happening specifically there and my thoughts with those families. So as far as grain is concerned today, we have been holding our own up until about 11 o'clock, and now things have gone south. Corn, beans, wheat, a little bit softer. Our dairy markets are also softer as far as fluid markets are concerned. So it's kind of a in and out business. We've had a lot of outside money that had previously been invested in energy stocks decide that they wanted to come over to commodities because we at least give them the volatility they wanted to manage their portfolio. We'll see if they stick around. Today, barrel cheese was up 1.5 pennies at 1.24 3/4. 40-pound block cheese down 1/4 cent at 1.51 1/4. Double A butter unchanged, 2.22 1/2. Sure wish we'd advance those screens in a little bit more timely fashion, but there we go. So like I said, a lot of the numbers as of right now anyhow on the down tick, Mark, but they had been up. They had been up just a little bit earlier, kind of like the sun. It had been there. It was just there, and now it's not. So, yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, I know. I hear you got the lanky one over there. Tell him he's got some splaining to do.
Okay, Lanky. Thank you, Pam. Splain.
This is such a good transition because even though we have the clouds right now, Pam, and all those watching, and even though we do have a chance of rain later on, you know the sun always keeps on trucking. Check out this awesome photo in the window there of a pickup. Thank you, Brent, for sending this in. It just looks absolutely amazing. It was really pretty to start off this Tuesday, but the clouds have moved in once again in advance of our next rain system that won't affect everyone, but especially spots south and east of Madison. I think the chances are pretty good to see a couple of those raindrops and even a few downpours. Nothing right now. Doppler track still showing those rain showers off to the north and west. So nothing filling in on radar, but give it a few hours, allow that front to move a little bit closer, and that rain, that precipitation will kind of catch up with that front and form right along it and could provide some downpours. So bring the umbrella this afternoon, especially for spots in and south and east of Madison. But I do think by the time we get to later this evening, we are probably going to be dry. There is some indications, and we'll talk about this more in a little bit, of a secondary round of light showers that will come through later on this evening, but the chances aren't looking all that promising for that. And we'll definitely be dry into tomorrow for Halloween and also on Thursday. After that, a little bit more unsettled. Downtown Madison, the Edgewater Skycam showing some clearer skies off in the distance, but mainly dealing with the clouds right now. Your forecast high of 55 degrees later this afternoon, just a little bit above normal for this time of year. We'll enjoy above normal temperatures, at least for highs, over the next few days before we get into the start of November and this weekend. And then we see those temperatures dip into the 40s. But right now we're at 51 in Madison, 57 in Janesville, 55 in Watertown, and 53 in the Dells. That is quite a bit warmer compared to this time on Monday, about 5 to 10 degrees basically everywhere across southern Wisconsin. Wind speeds have shifted a little bit more out of the south right now at about 8 to 12 miles per hour. Our high temperature trend, as I mentioned, we're living right on the edge of normal and a little bit above average for this time of year for today and tomorrow. But then we will see temperatures dip a little bit on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday into the 40s. And when we talk about Halloween, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be about 20 degrees warmer than our highs last year. Really, this time of year can bring us a little bit of everything, as we know. So 37 the high last year. We were in the 60s in 2016, and believe it or not, we actually had our record Halloween snowfall just in 2014, just a couple of years ago. No snow to deal with this Halloween, though, I can assure you of that. Future track showing those showers filling in a little bit closer to this afternoon and early evening. And here's what I was talking about with this secondary line. It really doesn't look like too much on future track, but have that umbrella ready to go later this afternoon and evening, just in case. We'll see some sunshine tomorrow, the clouds, with temperatures in the mid-50s and some sunshine on Thursday as well. Precipitation potential, not too much for the vast majority of us, but closer to far southeastern Wisconsin, Janesville, Waukesha, those types of areas. We could be dealing with a couple more downpours, so maybe a half an inch to an inch, not out of the question, of rain. Your 7-day forecast showing those temperatures remaining in the 50s for Wednesday and Thursday, but then we're in the 40s for the weekend, and some rain and snow showers possible on Saturday and Sunday. Monday, I think we're just dealing with rain, but then later on Tuesday, as you may have heard something about already, we could have some more snowflakes mixing in at times. There's still time to iron out that forecast, but we'll keep a close eye on it.
Well, it's November.
Yeah,
getting there.
It can happen.
All right. Thank you, Dave. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll meet the mystery couple behind a proposal captured at Yosemite National Park. That's after the break. Well, more than a week after a Michigan man captured the picture-perfect image of a man proposing to a woman on a cliff, the mystery couple is revealed. Chrissy Fajardo has the story.
A beautiful moment with a beautiful backdrop. Even the golden lighting was picture perfect. Too gorgeous not to share. But the photographer, Matthew Dipple of Michigan, had no idea who that was on bended knee, nor the identity of the mystery woman perched on Taft Point in Yosemite.
I posted it in hopes to find them on everything, and now on Twitter it's gone viral.
Those who saw the photo wanted to know who they were too, sharing the post over 166,000 times since October 17th. Dipple even took his search to the media.
I truly hope the photo finds you. I've got a pretty solid photo for you, and I'd really like to share it with you because it's truly a beautiful moment.
Yosemite National Park is a popular spot for couples in love, and days went by with no word. In fact, the Alhambra man in the photo skipped right over it on social media. Then Charlie Bowe realized that was him and his bride-to-be, Melissa.
It's an amazing feeling. It was so awesome. It was a great photo that it was timed perfectly, you know, and it's just such a coincidence.
He tells us via FaceTime it was actually the second proposal. The other was for his family, but that day in Yosemite was meant just for her.
Oh, I had no clue. We went with two friends, and they were just helping us take random photos, you know, just spontaneously.
Here's one of the photos taken by a friend. Bowe wanted to give Melissa the perfect proposal, but it was a stranger who gave them the perfect memory.
It's quite a story.
Yeah.
The happy couple set to wed in April. They'll tie the knot in Malibu and say they'd love to have Dipler there to take photographs of their wedding. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it for free, though. Those are really nice.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
That's awesome.
Social media. The
Yes,
power of social media.
Exactly. And the power of some rain could be felt by some of us later this afternoon and evening. Nothing on radar right now, but this afternoon, keep the chance of showers in the forecast, mainly to the south and east of Madison, with temps in the mid-50s.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.